Welcome to the Grammar Tips and Tricks series.
Today we're going to look at vocabulary and why it's so useful and valuable to increase your own. One of the biggest problems I see in student papers is using a limited number of words. It gets repetitive and it's not quite as precise and colorful and entertaining. So let's get a bigger vocabulary. That's mighty big talk, podner. Or I also titled this presentation, Big Vocabulary Equals Vroom. Little vocabulary equals put. Now, talk about vroom. Look at this baby. Appears to be violating the speed limit even though it's sitting still. This is a Ferrari. It's gorgeous. Be nice to get one of those for a graduation present, but I wouldn't bet on it because even the base model is $250,000, so not likely to happen. Still pretty to look at. On the other hand, you have been given a present, bright red and extremely powerful. The English language dictionary has a lot of horsepower under the hood. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, English is one of the most widely used languages on the planet. There's more native speakers of Mandarin, Chinese, Spanish, even Hindi than English, but there are more people speaking English because that's the language folks want to acquire when they get that second language. As an example, the extremely successful Swedish pop group ABBA made a lot of money in the 1970s, but none of their songs were recorded in Swedish. They sang in English because they knew they could sell records around the world in English. It's the language of business, science, and pop culture. You've been given this gift from birth. So, use it. The other reason that English is such a valuable tool is that it's so doggone big. It's the biggest language there is. There's over 600,000 words in English. French has 100,000. That's right, 6 times as many words as English as in French. Now, Italian's a big language. They have about 500,000 words. So if you stacked a French dictionary on top of an Italian dictionary, you would finally get a dictionary about as thick as our own English dictionary. Very powerful tool. Lots of get up and go. Worth mastering as many words as possible. And how do you do that? You read. There are other ways. We'll talk about those in a second. But by far the best thing to do is to read. And when you come across a word that you don't know, look it up. For heaven's sakes, you've got a dictionary in your smartphone. Just push the button and find out what that unknown word means, and then start using it in your own writing and in your own spoken language as well. It's not that hard to do. There are books on every subject under the sun. You can find a book on something that already interests you so that this is not a labor, it's an enjoyment. Read those books, look up those words. If the books you're reading don't have words that challenge your vocabulary, you need to switch to a different book. Now, some people recommend word games and word puzzles, and I'm not going to say it's a bad idea, but I would point out that puzzles typically attempt to trick you or mislead you. Crossword puzzles in particular will do this. So it's a bit of a stumbling block, whereas simply reading and looking up words is not. You're going to acquire more words through reading and looking up in the dictionary than you will through puzzles and games. But whatever works for you, that's the best solution. If you don't do this, if you don't add words to your vocabulary, instead of a Ferrari, this is what you're going to be putting around town in. Okay? Don't do that. Choose vroom. Don't choose put.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Grammar Tips and Tricks series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next Grammar Tips and Tricks episode.